Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Motivation with Mommy C Time. I am your host, Ramika Latash, and today we have an exciting guest, Maddy Fero, founder of Little Rats, a kids' clothing brand specializing in ethical source, vintage inspired apparel for boys. Maddie's journey in children fashion began as a creative outlet during the pandemic. And since launching in 2021, her brand has grown to serve over 30,000 parents with a deep committed to quality, sustainability, and American made production. Maddie continues to inspire families to embrace every radical moment of childhood. She's here to share her incredible story of turning passion into purpose while balancing family, motorsports, and entrepreneurship. Oh, welcome to the show, Maddie.
Thank you so much for having me, Ramika. I am so stoked to be here and to get to talk about entrepreneurship, motherhood, and just embracing all things women. I think we're such powerful creatures, and I love that your platform gives us a place to showcase who we are and what we're capable of. So, thank you.
Yes, I am so excited to hear about Maddie's entrepreneur journey and motherhood. I purposely didn't read everything because I wanted to hear everything for the first time so you guys can actually get the real reaction. But this is something different. We haven't had someone on the show that owns like a clothing line or anything like that for kids. You know, we have clothing line for adults, but for kids. So I'm so excited to hear her journey. Again, our topic today is building a purpose driven business and how Maddie turned passion into little rad things. So we're not going to hold you long because we just want to motivate you on this Monday morning and just get you going for the rest of the week to give you that push. So we're just going to go ahead and dive in and just ask the questions and get empowered and get inspired and get motivated. As we say on here, we're going to have a tea conversation, which we're going to be transformed, empowered, and able to affirm some greatness into our lives. So, our first question for Mary today is your journey with Little Rad Things started during the pandemic, right? So, what
I did.
initially inspired you to teach yourself to sew, and how did that spark the creation of your own clothing brand?
Yeah, well, my firstborn paired with frustration in my corporate career really kickstarted my passion to learn how to sew, to make some unique things. And ironically, my oldest, if you saw me a minute ago looking to the left, he decided to come into the room while we're recording. So he was the one that inspired me to teach myself how to sew. I really was kind of frustrated with my career at the time. I was a franchise business coach for a fitness franchise, and I was working with small business owners, a lot female across the country, who were having to close their gyms. And they were in fear of, their businesses going under.
Mhm.
And it was an amazing job, but I was doing a lot of like therapy sessions for them almost
Yeah.
when talking to them about their businesses. And at night, I was like, I just need something to do something for me that like doesn't make me think about anything related
Mhm.
to work and what's going on in the world. And so I pulled out a sewing machine my mom had gotten me for Christmas a year prior. I didn't know how
Mhm.
to sew, but my mom is a very good seamstress. And so
Right.
I was like, well, I'm just going to try to teach myself how to do this and make some fun things for Paxton, who at the time was around 8 months old. And
Mhm.
I've always been somebody who likes social media, so I started sewing and posting him in his little outfits on Instagram,
Yeah.
and I had friends that were like, "This is cool. Can I buy
Mhm.
some of that from you? Can you
Mhm.
make me something custom?" And that's
Mhm.
when my husband was like, "You're empowering these women through the
Yeah.
gyms to keep their gyms open and do things. Why don't you
Right.
empower yourself and follow your dream?" And
Yeah.
really, that's kind of the root of how Little Rad Things started.
I love it. Now, on your website, is that him modeling the clothes. It's so cute.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm super blessed. I have, 2 boys myself. I found out I was expecting my second when I was like in the process of getting Little Red Things built.
Okay.
Because that took almost 8 months in general, like sourcing the clothes, the
Yeah.
designs, and everything. And
Yeah.
then um, now I'm getting asked to open snacks.
That's okay.
But
Look, that's what Mommy Tea Time is all about.
yeah,
Look,
it's
that's the whole thing of balancing motherhood and our dreams. So um I'm okay with it because I understand. I have
thank
four,
you.
well, they're not little anymore, they're big ones now. I have four
Yeah,
big big preteens and teens now, but when they were little, they were stair steps. So I totally
yes,
understand, the whole balancing out, and that's how mommy's tea time was developed, because
correct.
of that, because I put so much focus into my kids, I kind of lost myself. So I wanted to find my dreams again. And that's what empowered me to want to inspire other moms to pursue their dreams. So, yeah, we're definitely aligned. I know exactly what you're talking about. I just love how God just prepare you for things that you don't even know that's coming. Who knew that sewing machine that your mother bought a year prior would turn into this great business, inspired by your son.
Yep,
You
yep,
know, a
and
lot.
I'm right
That,
with you. I think, God pours into us and he challenges us at times, but I've seen so much happen in my life that I truly believe has come from a higher presence. Like
oh yeah,
it's worked out a certain way. And so thank you for sharing that with me. And
yeah,
I think it's incredible, as women, we do pour into our children. And I think, we're placed on this earth to have children, quite honestly, and like
hmm,
foster what we learn through them and even
hmm,
regain and find things about ourselves that we never
that we
knew,
can.
right? Like
Yes.
5 years ago, if you would have told me I would be in this spot following my
Hmm.
dream, I would be like,
Hmm.
"There is no way. There's no way."
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
it's
know.
crazy how it works out.
Yeah, it's funny how you say that. I think we talked about this a little bit last week. How our kids really spark something in us that we don't know that we have, and it's probably why God put them here on earth to do that, to bring out
Yeah.
certain things out of us that we don't even see in ourselves, just inner strength alone, that just comes out of nowhere, that you
Yeah.
can't even explain to really put words to. um, it's just crazy. Like you said, like my oldest will be 15. 15 years ago, I wouldn't see myself right here. You know,
Yeah.
um, it's just crazy. But we talked about balancing motherhood and running a successful business can be challenging. So how do you prioritize your time between being a mom, an entrepreneur, and what advice do you have for moms looking to start their own ventures?
Yeah, I my biggest advice to start would be just start, you know. I
Mhm,
think as mothers, when you first become a mother, we all lose a little sense of ourselves, right? Because there's such a
mhm,
change going on and you're experiencing so much and you've never done it before, but it's amazing how as soon as you have your baby, you just figure it out. And I would say
mhm,
that's what really makes women extremely good entrepreneurs, in my opinion, because just as having a baby, you
mhm,
just have to figure it out every single
mhm,
day and know that it's you and you control your path and your destiny in it. And
mhm.
there's nobody that's going to come and say, "Excuse me, Paxton."
I
Yes, I
love it.
see it. Thank you. Do you want to say hi to the listeners of the show that I'm on real quick? All right, this is my oldest Paxton.
Hi.
Thanks, Paxton. Can you shut the door, please, Tommy? Thank you.
I
Um,
love it.
So my husband travels in NASCAR, and on weekends, I'm alone a lot with my children, which is amazing. We have a
Yeah,
lot of special things that we do together, but having peace sometimes is not always the easiest thing,
yes,
as you understand. But
I do.
I think, we make extremely great entrepreneurs because we do just learn to juggle a lot of
Yeah,
different things and learn multitasking. And quite
yeah,
honestly, as a woman, the best thing you can do is just start. If you have a passion and a dream, just start and chip
yeah,
away at it every single day and know that nothing is ever going to be 100% perfect, but again, like, God made you for a
yeah,
reason,
yeah,
and you control how things move. So for me, like,
yeah,
I do the best I can to kinda schedule through the course of the day, but,
mhm,
I also am very big on prioritizing hours when the kids are not awake to do some work, so I'm somebody who
yeah,
just pushes myself to be up longer, whether that be in the morning or the evening, so that during the day I can be as present as I can be with my family?
yes. I love that. Just get started. And that's the key. Just get started. A lot of times
Yes.
we think we have to figure it all out, and we want to get to the end goal instead of just going through the process and just start. Everyone doesn't start big, you know.
Yep,
You learn, like you said, you learn as you go. Um, you think you have to have like all these things, and just something as simple as doing a podcast. Get your phone, turn the camera on, and just talk, and just be your authentic self. The same
yes.
thing with any business, whatever business it is, just get started. If you want to start a clothing line, start with one piece. You don't have to
Yep.
start with 20 pieces, just get started. So I love that advice that you gave to the listeners is to just get started. Start, because if we
Just
keep
start.
saying, yeah, if we keep saying what we're going to do or how I'm going to do it, or, just do it. Try it out and see. Failure is not always a bad thing. I look at failure as a learning experience. You learn from those failures, and then you just keep moving. And I
Yep.
like how you compare that to motherhood, because it's no manual to it. We're learning as we go. We're learning as
No,
we go. Yeah,
absolutely, and honestly, if you don't start, 10, 20 years from now, you may really regret the fact that you didn't start. And
yeah,
I think, sometimes we have such a nature, and I don't wanna say just as women, because I think men do it too, but to
yeah,
get in our heads and worry about somebody else's journey and what it looks like versus ours or what they might
mhm,
think, and
mhm,
really, it's so empowering to just start and just keep going. And then anything like that that you may be worried about, the more that you show up day after day for your dream, people start to
mhm,
notice. And it
yeah,
even inspires other people around you to challenge the standard and start doing something that they've always wanted to do. So,
yeah,
really, by like taking a chance on yourself, you're starting a ripple effect with everyone around you to self reflect too.
yes. That was good. That really was good, because we talk about this too on the show. Like, if you don't get started, it's people out there that's waiting specifically for you, that's
Yes,
assigned to you to motivate and to pour in. So if you don't get started, then those people are lost. So yeah, that was just like, I've heard that like 3 times last week, and just hearing it again, it's like it's so real. It's
it is
it's
so
it's so
real.
real, and it's contagious. I say it's contagious, like entrepreneurship and success, because when you're around those type of people, it's like it gets you going like, "Oh, well, I can do it too." That's why I love this platform, because when you're just home within yourself, you think that you're the only one that's going through what you're going through. And then when you start listening to Maddie and Ramika and their stories and how they're doing, they're like, oh well, they're doing it
Yeah,
too. I can do it too. So yes, yes, I love it.
thank
Um,
you.
let's talk about the brand.
Okay.
the sourcing, the sustainability, the core values of the brand, and why are these brands so valuable and important to you, and how can other moms incorporate their values into their business and dreams?
Yeah. Yeah. For Little Rad Things, some of our biggest core values are sustainability and eco consciousness, as well as like fostering the next generation to be leaders and be powerful and be the change that we want to see in the world. And
Yeah.
my husband and I really came up with those values for the brand because it is what we believe and what we want to instill within our children. And
Yeah.
we look at the world today, and so much of our production is out of the United States. It's focused on fast fashion and harmful chemicals and
Yeah.
substances that honestly the average consumer has no idea about, right? You go to a
Uh-huh.
major retail store and you're just excited to get a deal on something that looks kind of cute for your kid, and
Yeah.
you're not necessarily processing the fact of like how's it made, where's it made, what's in it, um, how does it impact my child? And I think in today's world, what we're seeing in society is pretty cool, a shift into consciousness about our food system, which has
Yes.
been nice. And
Mm-hmm.
so, what we're really trying to do with Little Rad Things is also educate the consumer on the processes of making garments and what that looks like. And it's been really cool for us. I know we've talked a little bit about faith. Like, my husband and I are both very faithful people, and we
Yes.
started this small, and we were forced to do stuff out of the United States in the beginning. We've
Yes.
always been eco-conscious, but like we've been pretty blessed. We're moving our manufacturing to the States, and we're in the process of that
Yes.
right now,
I love it.
which is so amazing to have the opportunity as a small
Yeah.
business to help make
Mhm.
American jobs and better things for Americans. But
Yeah.
it's pretty wild to see and be educated on how when you do production outside of the States, like sometimes there are children making these garments, and you don't
Yeah.
understand when you go to a big store, like you might be Paxton Blippi's in Las Vegas. Um,
Mhm.
you may be having clothes put put on your kids that are made by other kids, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yes.
I I love that. It's funny, I just had a meeting with someone that's really passionate about hemp being infused into the clothing and housing. And I do believe that's where we're going into, like, even with our foods, what we wear on our
Yeah.
bodies. We're starting to really be conscious about that. So I love that this is like the third conversation that I had that's really moving towards like real quality, eco-friendly products to sell to the consumer. It really opened up my eyes. Now I told her, I was like, now I'm getting ready to be looking at tags and reading it to see,
Yeah.
where it came from or what is it made out of. And the thing is, I never look at it as like, what are you putting on your kids?
Yeah.
You just like, oh, it's cute, and you put it on them, and just not knowing what it is, what it's doing to our skin, our bodies. So I love that. I love that. I
Thank
wish
you.
people knew more about companies that sell eco-friendly clothing and really care where the clothing come from. So if we
Correct.
can get that word, if Mommy's Tea Time can get that word out to people where you can still wear eco-friendly clothes and still look rad because the clothes are so cute on the kids. I was looking on the website and I was like, who can I get this for? Because all my kids are big. I'm trying to think, I gotta buy something for somebody. These
Thank you.
clothes are so cute and so like they like little models, like little grown models. Like they look like little grown people and like just so cool. Cool, I'll say cool clothes because
Yes.
they're so cool for them for to be so little. I love that. And always looking for something different and not the regular norm clothes. So how do you go through I'm like going off a topic now, not off a topic, but off of some of the questions because I'm so intrigued
Yeah, of
about the
course.
company. Um, how do you determine like your pieces and how you pick them out and what collections are coming out?
Yeah, so that is probably one of the harder things in business for me. I am a creative through and through, and I have no problem sitting down and like designing garments. Like
Yeah,
that is my favorite part of the business, and I can't
right.
wait until someday we're so big that that's like the one thing I can focus
Good
on.
focus on.
Versus like being a smaller business, wear 20 different hats in a given day,
Yeah.
managing different things. But in terms of design and aesthetic, a lot of it is rooted in who I am and what my kids enjoy. And
Mhm.
so I mentioned earlier in the show, my husband is a mechanic within NASCAR.
Yeah.
I worked in NASCAR in my early 20s. That's actually how we met,
Oh,
ironically. So
I love it.
cars cars are like really true to who we are as people. And then
Mhm.
we both really enjoy classic music from like the
So
70s and 80s. So what
yeah.
you'll notice in a lot of our aesthetic and color palettes are really popular colorways that were big in the 70s and 80s, mixed
Mhm.
with kind of that racer aesthetic as well. So lots of checkerboards, reds, blues, golds,
Mhm.
oranges, like that is true
Mhm.
and true.
Yeah.
And then what's fun for me is I usually look at a season and I say, okay, we're going into spring. Like, let me come out with 2 to 3 different, patterns for shorts, a couple different graphic t-shirts, and maybe a jacket or some swim trunks. And
Yeah.
then I'll go through and design all those on an iPad and then send them off to my manufacturer who then makes a sample, sends it to us. We review the sample, try it on our own kids, wash it, all the things to make sure it matches the quality and ethics that we want to sell. And then
Right.
from there, like we'll go forward with production. A big thing that I'm super conscious of is getting the most bang for your buck. So
Yeah.
obviously, shopping small comes at a cost because unlike a bigger manufacturer or store, like let's just say Walmart, right? They're
Mhm.
ordering hundreds of thousands of units of something, so their cost to
Yeah.
manufacture is pretty low. For us
Right.
as a small business, it's really expensive. So we have to charge a little bit higher pricing to be able to stay in business. So
Yeah.
I'm always trying to be like, how can I take one graphic t-shirt and make sure that it matches all the shorts we come out with,
I
the
love that.
jacket, the socks. So
Mhm.
basically, if you buy a capsule from us, you're able to make several different outfits out of,
Yeah.
a few things,
Mhm.
um, versus going to a bigger store where you may have to buy more. So,
That's the mom in you. I love it.
yeah. Yeah.
That's
Save
because a
how to
business
save
is
money.
ran by a mom. That
Yeah.
because I mean, if you're not a mom, and not to like say men, but just men are not going to think like that when they're in business. So I love that that you have that in mind. You know that these pieces can match with this. You can make probably 5 or 6 outfits from one shirt or one collection. So
Yeah.
I love that. That takes me into my next question because when I read this was mind blowing. So, what were the biggest challenges you faced launching Little Red Things, and how did you overcome them to grow the brand to serve over 30,000 parents?
Yeah, probably the most challenging thing about clothing specifically is how much it costs and how early you're spending your money on something that you don't physically have as a business. So, a lot of people may not know, but when you get into manufacturing, you're typically paying at least 50% for your product out the gate, like just to get it started. And then you're paying the remaining balance to have it shipped. So you're out 100% the capital before you ever have anything to sell to your audience at all.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've always been really prideful on in our business is we don't really run a pre-sale, which That's fine if you do that. That's a great way to free up capital for
Mm,
yourself,
mhm.
and ensure sales before you have the product. But we just always want to have a high standard of knowing that what it comes is right before we
Yeah,
sell it to a single person. Because
right.
unfortunately, sometimes in manufacturing, like mistakes happen.
Yeah,
But that's probably always been the hardest part for us is we're self-funded. And so, you're putting a lot of money into something and then waiting a long time before you have the opportunity to sell it. And so occasionally we're in situations where we're like waiting, waiting, waiting. And I'm over here like, please, I hope this sells. I hope my
mhm,
customers love it. Um, but that was really difficult. And then too, with any business, just growing and trying to reach your audience. We're really blessed in today's day and age to have social media and to be
yeah,
able to have these opportunities like I'm having with you. Again, thank you so much for having me on to
mhm,
share the
yeah,
word about our business easily. But it's not always the easiest to get in front of the right audience, which can
yeah,
be challenging. But I'm just always of the mindset, keep posting, keep building connections and relationships. You never know where
yeah.
that's gonna go over time and how it'll eventually compound into success.
Yes, that was great. That was great because I can totally relate with you with not doing pre-sales. I have a natural hair care product line, and you do want to make sure that those products are right when they come in, before you give it to the consumer. But that challenge is it's like, okay, I get these products, and my customers going to love this product? Is it going to sell? Because if not, now I'm stuck with this product.
Yeah,
So it definitely is challenging, but rewarding at the same time, because like you said, when you reach that audience that's looking for that next product, that next from Rad Things, that's where the rewards come in, for the business. But that's just so amazing. 2021 is 2024, and 30,000 parents. That's great.
yeah. Yeah, we've really been blessed this year in 2024. I mean, I was posting this morning, like back in March, we hit 10,000 orders for our lifetime store, and now we're about to hit 20,000. We have over 30,000 people that are subscribed to get notified for us about things. And it's been so cool. Like, I'm so grateful that anyone wants to put their children in something that I designed, first off.
Mhm.
And then I have
Yeah,
some mothers who have literally been with me since 2021. And I've built these lasting friendships with them now, that
yeah,
I
yeah,
I can't wait until we're in a warehouse and I get to see them someday come into my
mm,
warehouse and
yeah.
I've seen their kids go from being little babies to now they're in kindergarten and I'm like, like I feel like a
Uh-huh.
part of their life and it's really incredible.
Yes, I love that. I love that you just dream big. You have a goal, a bigger picture. Um, and I love that for you, and I pray that that does happen for you.
Thank
That's one of
you.
my dreams too, to be in a warehouse and be able to see those customers face to face. Um, but like I said, I'm excited. I don't have any little ones, but I gotta buy something so I can buy it for someone. Because the clothes are really, really, really cute and really trendy. I think trendy, fashion forward.
Thank
Um,
you.
and I just pray the best, but even more success. Because I'm always rooting for the small business, the mom business, because we do juggle a lot. We balance motherhood, and that within itself is big. So
Yes,
to be able to do that and have a successful business is empowering. And I hope
absolutely.
someone is who's listening, who may be thinking about doing the same thing or just doing anything, just following their dreams and just getting started. Like you said, get started. I
Yeah.
hope that they're being inspired to go ahead and get started. You talked about building the community around the brand. How do you think building connections with other moms and parents has contributed to your success, which we just talked about that a little bit? And how can moms tap into the community to support pursuing their dreams?
Yeah, I mean, I owe everything that has happened to my business from the relationships I've fostered within my community. And
Yeah.
really, it just started from being genuinely who I am with my community. And
Mhm.
for me, that's, DMing people that follow me on Instagram. It's getting in a VIP page that I made from scratch with 5 people in it that knew me really well, and it just growing and growing from people that shop our business and then go to the VIP group, and I'm going in there like from my front porch doing a live talking about new products that came, and my kids
Yeah.
are running in just like you've experienced on this
Yeah.
show. And
Yeah.
so it's cool because I let them see me for who I am and learn a lot
Yeah.
about who my family is, and then I do the same for them. I want to know, what made you find Little Rad Things? What about us stood out? And, like, how can we better serve you in
Yeah.
your family? Because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, like, business is about helping people solve problems that they are
Mhm.
having in their life and
Yeah.
serving the people that want to support you. So that's the thing that I am the most present about with my base of community all the time is how can I better serve you? What can we continue to do to get better?
Yeah.
Constantly, you liked this one thing. Why did you like it? And really, I think that's what has helped me build such a community is just truly
Mhm.
caring.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's sad to say that there are people out there that don't care, but there are. And
Oh
I
yeah.
think when you truly care, it just pays in dividends in and of itself.
Yeah, I love that you said that you started your community, your VIP community, and it was only 5 people. Um, that can be discouraging for some people because in their minds they think they're supposed to just grow like that, and everybody is just going to come to their community, and it's just going to be that. And then some people stop right there and they don't continue. And I love that you said that because now it has grown and it's only started with 5 people. Um, and I also love that you said to be your authentic self. It's a lot of kid brands out, but people buy into you. That's what they buy into.
Yeah.
Not so much of the product, even though the product is cool, but they bought into Maddie. So the listeners out there, whoever you are, Maddies, the Ramikas, whoever you are, be your authentic self because that's what grows your community. And you said earlier in the show is that you can't focus on everyone else's success and what they're doing. You have to focus on what you're doing. And it will grow. It takes time. It takes
It
time.
does.
It takes work. I love how you said, you can do a live, and a lot of people won't even go live because their kids are running around. Their kids are no. Let the people see that.
Yeah.
Let them see, oh, I can do it. Maddie's, she's going on live. Her kids is on. I think it's the cutest thing. I love it. I'm still watching. I can't wait to see her tomorrow when she go live and her kids come and run into the show. So yeah, I love that you said that. And that's what this show is about. To let people know is that just be yourself. Just
Yeah.
go ahead and do it. You're a mom. It's okay. It's okay you're a
Yeah.
mom. Yeah, go ahead. If that's your dream and that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. Build that community, build that brand, build that business, whatever it is. Just do it. Just get started. I love it's so many pointers in this show. I just hope the listeners is
Thank
just
you.
writing it down and taking it all in. And I've learned myself when I do these interviews, I'm learning from people and it's motivated me, to
Yeah.
keep
Well,
going.
I'm so glad. And I mean, as we discussed earlier, we talked about challenges in businesses and like you're just always throwing something else every single day. And I can tell you, Ramika, like one of the best things that has happened to my business in the last year, I
Mhm.
had a huge order of these long sleeve tees that were going to be my fall staple on our
Mhm.
website for fall.
Mm.
Really crushed Q4 for us. And they
Uh-huh.
came and our manufacturer messed up the sleeves for certain sizes. Like they were shorter than they should have
Okay.
been. They almost
Right.
looked like a 3/4 sleeve t-shirt instead of a full
Okay.
length sleeve.
Mhm.
And as a business owner, you've already like I had already paid for these, the
Mhm.
manufacturer overseas is not going to do anything about it now that they're at my house and there's
Right.
thousands of them. So
Mhm.
I took a chance and went on live to my community. I told them what happened, what I was going to do.
Mhm.
I was going to have to still sell these, but I was going to sell them at a lot lesser cost because I can't
Okay.
justify charging normal for them,
Right.
and how I just let myself be myself, and I got a little emotional about it because it's
Mhm.
scary and it's business,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I love transparency. We had our one of our biggest days in sales ever, and we sold all of those t-shirts that were wrong within 48 hours. And it
Oh
was
my
all
goodness.
because I have just been myself. I've told my audience who I am,
Mhm.
what I stand for. I'm
Mhm.
transparent about the business, and it's the craziest thing. I can't encourage you enough to just be yourself and put yourself out there because people pay attention to that, and they respect
Yeah,
it and are grateful for it because a lot
and
of
they're
people
with
don't do
you.
that.
They're with you. They're like, "Okay, sell me the shirt.
Mhm.
I'll put a red sweater over it, a jacket over
Yeah.
it, and my kids are still gonna be cool." But you built that community, you built that trust, that authenticity with your audience, so they trust you.
Yeah.
And that's the key, is build the community, build the trust, and people will buy into you. I love your story. I love from the support from your husband, the motivation to even push you to into your dreams. It just get from being motivated from your son, just having that small community that believed in that one piece of um outfit that you sewn for your son, and it's just a great story, and it
Thank
can
you.
be someone out there's story too.
Correct.
So I've been empowered. I hope someone has been transformed in their mind to think a little different than what they were thinking yesterday because they hear Maddie's story and her success that she's having with Little Red Things. Now we have to tell our listeners how they can follow you, how they can connect with you, how they can just be a part of your community. Any events that you have coming up, let us know, and how they can connect with you.
Well, thank you so much. They can follow us on all social media platforms. We are at the Little Rad Things on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you name it. My personal one is at Maddy Fero. I'm always so happy to talk to anyone. So if you ever want to send me a DM on either, I will absolutely get back to you within like 24 hours. It's a sickness of mine. I'm very prompt. But you can follow us there. I made a code as well. If any of your listeners would want to check out Little Rad Things, they can use Tea Time 20 to save at checkout. And
Yeah.
we just are so excited and grateful for this opportunity and grateful for what we are able to do through our business and support our community. And we do have big dreams. I'm hoping one day we're big enough that I'm able to work with other moms and give them an opportunity to do cool stuff with us and help
You
us
will.
design and
Yes.
everything. So, sky's the limit. But seriously, like you said, don't be scared to start. That's like the biggest thing I think is getting over that fear of just starting
Yeah.
because the imposter syndrome is real and
Oh,
it
yes.
doesn't ever really truly go away,
Well, yeah.
but if you don't start, you're just never gonna know, and you don't
Mhm.
even need a lot of money to be able to start, really. For us,
Mhm.
we started with a couple $100s, and we were just doing blank T-shirts that we bought off the internet, and we would screen print our design on, and it's
Yes.
evolved into this whole beast now. So Just don't be
I love
afraid to
it.
start and just pick up and do the same thing day after day after day, and it'll eventually compound into something.
I love it. I do. Um, yeah, if you didn't get anything out of this episode, it's just to get started. We're going to promote, Mommy C Time is going to promote and let everyone know about Rad Little Things because I'm excited about the journey. I'm excited about the story, and I want nothing but success. I thank you, Maddie, for choosing Mommy's Tea Time platform. I am so honored. You say
Thank
you're
you.
honored. I'm so honored because I took a chance and got started. And because I got started, now I'm starting to have people request to be on my show. Before I had to look for people to come on the show, and now I'm getting requests because I got started. And like she said, imposter syndrome is real because you in the back of your mind, you're like, who's gonna want to be on my show? Who's gonna ask to be on my Miss Tea Time? Like, really? So um I thank you for coming on to the show. It was a great conversation. It was a tea conversation because I have been transformed. I have been empowered and I am
Oh,
ready to affirm some things in my life. So I hope that the listeners are too. So that takes us into our affirmation for the week, that anyone who may be looking to do what Maddie has done, take this affirmation and just repeat it, write it down, put it somewhere on a sticky, and just use it as a reminder of this episode, to inspire you to just get started. So the affirmation is I am creative, capable, and courageous. I embrace my passion, pursue my dreams, and build something meaningful that reflects my values and inspiring others. So I want you to take that and just use it as a reminder of this episode because we do want you to get started. We want you to follow your dreams. We want you to know that you can balance life being a mother and an entrepreneur. So I thank you, listeners, for tuning in to Let's Talk Motivation with Mommy's Tea Time. Join us every Monday mornings at 9 a.m. as we continue to empower our moms to manifest the life that they want. You have a great week.